and I'll pop a wing in it. I am not afraid to go Farrah Fawcett on y'all at all. Hello everybody. Welcome to this week's video. It is a hair blowout and styling video with extensions. I've had a lot of you requesting, how do you do it? I'm kind of on the fence. I don't know if I want extensions or not. Show me what the process is like, or many of you do have them and you're looking for maybe some different ways to blow it out and style it. Well, now that I'm among the long-haired community, I am happy to do a tutorial for you. You know, it's been a learning experience on my end as well. I mean, clearly, if you have followed me for a long time, I've been on the YouTube platform since 2014, but honestly, in the mid-90s, when I started working in news, I cut my hair off and I wore it short predominantly for my 28-year career. So this is the first time, I've never had hair this long, by the way, ever. This is the first time that I've really had the opportunity to play around with long hair and experiment with different styles, also learning different blowout techniques and just how I have to handle it, because you do have to exercise care and caution when you have extensions. So I will walk you through all of that, kind of share the tricks of the trade as I've learned them, kind of the do's and the don'ts, how to make it happen, how to make the magic happen and keep your hair healthy and keep it intact. All right, before we get into today's long hair tutorial, I do want to share something very important in my hair journey, something that I've added to my daily routine for a while now that's made a real difference in my hair growth, how it is looking and feeling, and that is Nutrafol. As many of you know, I recently went from short blonde to long brunette, and while yes, I am wearing extensions to get that immediate length and that fullness while my natural hair grows in, the hair that's coming in at the root is visibly fuller and thicker, and I believe it's because Nutrafol Balance has played a big role. I take Nutrafol Balance every single day with a meal. Now, this specific formula is designed for women experiencing hormonal shifts or changes in metabolism or just the natural effects of aging. It's 100% drug-free, made with ingredients like ashwagandha, marine collagen peptides, maca, and saw palmetto. They all work together to support hair growth from within. Also, it is the #1 dermatologist recommended hair growth supplement, and with consistent use, you can expect to start seeing results like less shedding and more thickness, like so, in 3 to 6 months. And if Balance isn't the right fit for you, they have other formulas, whether you're postpartum, maybe in a different life stage, even looking for something for your guy. There's also a new exclusive offer that's happening right now that I do want to share. It's only for a limited time. So if you've been curious about trying Nutrafol, now might be the perfect time. Just head to the link in my description for all the details. Nutrafol, thank you for providing my audience with this exclusive offer. And now let's get to the video to show you how I got here. Before we start, just letting you know, I have 2 rows of hand-tied extensions. One row is up in this area. So one row is up in here, and the second row is down here. Basically goes from one side of the head to the other. I also have K-tips. These are really, really cool, and they are what enabled me to have this kind of length, because as you know, I still have relatively short hair up top here. So K-tips are very, very small little bonds with keratin of hair. These are K-tips, and they are bonded in here and fused in with the hair. You use keratin to bond it in, and then when it's time to remove them and move them up, they essentially just kind of crack it and it falls apart, and then you can move it up. So anyway, that's the process of how I'm able to have this length of hair. I only wash and style once a week. I had a lot of you say, well, aren't you worried about the added stress and pressure this is going to put on your hair? I've got to tell you, I am styling my hair less. I'm only blowing out once a week. The heat from the curling iron, I'm only having to use once, maybe twice if I want to kind of recoil it. It lasts longer. It's been easier on my hair. The only real difference is you can't get in there and kind of scratch with your nails everywhere. As they joke, you have to do Barbie hands. So you get in there when you shampoo and you massage with Barbie hands in between all of the extensions. And that's how you get the soap and the shampoo in there without getting your nails in there and potentially tearing a thread or, loosening one of the K-tips. I'm going to take care of that, come back here with a head of wet hair, and we will start the process. Okay, here we are, freshly shampooed and conditioned. I am using, at the recommendation of my hairstylist, the Milbon product line. Repair and Heat, it's a heat protecting shampoo, and then the restorative treatment conditioner. Milbon is on the higher end side, there's no doubt about it, but I want to protect not only my hair, but my hair that I bought for as long as I can. This hair can last up to a year if I take really, really good care of it. So that's also another reason why I only want to wash once a week and just not overdo it. For styling purposes, I'm also going to use a Milbon product. This one is called Smooth Luminous Bodifying Oil for Fine Hair. It is also a heat protectant. And I'm going to show you some tools in a second that are critical for making this work. But in the meantime, this is an oil, one pump, and then I'm going to section out my hair right here in the middle. You have to remember these ends were very blonde not that long ago. So they are dry and in need of protection. And then I'll do another pump and kind of a once through. You have to be careful, taking your hair and wrapping it up in a towel. Not the most comfortable thing. So literally you just kind of squeegee your hair out with a towel and any excess water that's in there. The blow dry is definitely longer than what I am accustomed to. So for tools, these are really, really important. This particular brush has loops instead of bristles. The purpose of the loop is that it won't get caught in the sewn-in extensions, or it won't pull out tapes, or it won't yank on the K-tips. The most important thing with extensions is making sure that you don't have any knots or tangles. So very, very carefully with a brush, and you have to brush your hair a lot during the day. And if you feel anything that's starting to feel a little sticky, especially the underneath hairs tend to tangle the most, you can just kind of get your fingers in there and just separate it and pull it apart. Okay, we are ready now for the blowout. For that, I'm using my Dyson Supersonic hairdryer. 2 brushes. I have now a very large round barrel brush. This is about a 3-inch diameter brush. I also have my square round smaller one that I'm going to need for my shorter hair up front, and a clip to be able to section off the hair as we go. But in the meantime, I'm just going to do an overall kind of a light drying to get the wetness out of the hair. A lot of women with naturally straight hair who do have extensions can do a large chunk of their blowout like that. I, on the other hand, cannot, because as you know, I've got a lot of curl in my hair, and this is about the time it starts to show up. So this is when I've got to go in with the round brush and really start smoothing things out. And it's why I need to do it section by section, because all of my natural curl underneath, if I kept going, will just frizz out and it won't blend with the new hair that I bought. And that's the secret sauce in all of this, is making your hair blend in with the new added pieces. So I'm primarily smoothing out my own hair across the top. You saw a few of the pieces, the extensions, kind of getting twirled in between, but it's really, really important I get this nice, smooth, and flat so that it will be able to twist in with the other hair. I like a good curtain bang, which is why you see me going kind of under like that, and then I smooth from the top. So it's a combination of those two. But now for the most part, my hair up here is dry. If I feel any pulling whatsoever, I release the hair from the brush and start over. I'm really, really careful not to get the bristles in the area where the extensions are tied to my other hair. So it's kind of a lift, probably about 1 inch away from all of that, letting the heat dry that part of the root and then pulling it through. So as you can see, this front panel is now pretty much dry. The part that takes the longest, as you can imagine, is the underside back here. That's where the majority of the hand-tied extensions are. That's where it's going to take the longest time. So in the name of brevity, I'm going to speed through things. You're sort of seeing how I'm blending it all together, and then we'll circle back as I'm getting close to being finished. Okay, so mostly dry at this point. The top part of the back, the sides dry. So this is the time when it's really, really good to kind of section that off, and you can feel, I can sort of feel, okay, it's a little wet right there. So I'm gonna pop that up and then get this underside. This area is really important, by the way, because as you will see, my hair ends right there. Right there, those are mine. So I've got to blow it in a way where it blends in with the rest of these guys. See again how it got tangled in here? Just lift the hair off and brush out whatever is knotting up, always holding here. And section by section we go. Welcome back. I've gotten a great shoulder workout. Okay, every section's dry. The only thing you need to do at this point is just kind of run your fingers in between, and if you feel any damp spots in there, just hit the dryer. Again, you don't want to leave anything wet. It just increases the chance for tangles, which at the root, you run the risk of possibly losing some of that hair you purchased. Okay, the blow dry is done. I would probably feel more confident wearing my hair straight if my natural hair weren't as short. I sometimes just kind of worry that if the wind blows the wrong way, it might take on a mullet-like effect. Just because, as you can see, and you probably can back there, but my hair ends the top layer right about here. So it's gotta blend in. Now I could use, for instance, a pomade or something if I wanted just a really, really sleek, straight look. I could slick it down. So we're going to use this as sort of a starting point, right? If you have naturally straight hair, if you've got some longer hair, why not just take it and then you can literally just tuck it behind your ears and have a super sleek, straight look. You can hit it with some hairspray. I'm not going to do any of that just yet because I'm going to be using some styling tools, and since I am, I also need to power those on. This is a really, really good start. Another thing, I just love a classic low ponytail. I find this to be very elegant as well. So let's say you have, you know, an event or something and you just want your hair tied back. You can just do that. You can do a side part. You can brush it all back. Again, I don't have enough length for that, but I can certainly do this. Put it in a ponytail. My baby hairs at the nape of my neck are just getting long enough now to stay back. And then you've got just a very, very sleek, elegant, pulled back ponytail. I mean, you've seen me braid my hair. I'll do that. This is another opportunity. You can do a braid. You could do a little, you know, side braid down here. I mean, whatever you want to do, but I love this. This is kind of a no-brainer to me. Okay, so those are the straight starting points. Now, what I have been encouraged to do, because my hair needs to blend in with all of this, is to bring out the big gun. So for that, I've got the T3. This is an 1.5 inch barrel, and I will literally go section by section, and we will get this hair kind of blended together. And that's kind of how you saw me at the starting point, was with really, really big loose waves. So for this front section, again, because I like to have a curtain bang, I will roll it back like that. And I also try to get in as many longer pieces, that's a K-tip right there, as I can, just for a continuum, right? So that gets rolled back, but then we're going to keep going because we got a little K-tip in there, right? And I want that to pull forward with the rest of my hair. So it's more of a directional thing as well. Okay, so this is a good combo of my hair up here and then the first row of the hand-tied extensions. And we are just going to go back. I like the 1.5-inch barrel. I find that it creates a looser wave, not such a tight coil. And I just like that looser, softer wave. Like so. And since this is going to take a while, what's really great is that all this hair that we're coiling gets to cool. I also try not to take too thick of a section, then you don't get that separation and the extra volume. The hair tends to stick together in sections. So yes, it's a little bit more time consuming, but if you make your sections thinner, I think in the long run, you're really going to like the look better. All going back. I will spare you the entirety of this, but I think you're catching the drift, right? We'll be back in just a sec. Oh wait, before I do that, super important. So here you go. These are my guys right here. So you can see where my length ends and the new begins. It's really, really important, especially around the face, to blend these together. So I go up as high as I can and then start to twist. Now just focusing on the extension part. But see what that did? It created a bend in my own hair and now blends in with the extension so that you don't see that line. Okay, now we'll circle back. All right, so for the most part, we are done. Everything has been curled. This is where I'm kind of grateful that I do have some shortness right here because I love a good 70s curtain bang. So I will take, normally you straighten it and let it kind of blend in, but I will take this kind of second section right here and I'll pop a wing in it. I am not afraid to go Farrah Fawcett on y'all at all. She was an icon also from Texas. So get a little bit of a lift there. Let that cool. I'm gonna do the same on this second section here. That provides just a little extra lift, you know, to take flight. And then what I will also do, what I will encourage if you have textured hair like this and layered, kind of seek out some of the shorter layers like in here that have been popped in and just give those a little extra separation just so it all doesn't look like one length, right? And you can see that this one's shorter than this one. And that also created, did you see, some more volume? So instead of it just hanging totally flat, by taking advantage of some of these shorter layers in there, it can give you some volume. So speaking of, what I love to do at this point is use my next product, again by Milbon. This is their Dry Texturizing Spray number 4. This stuff is amazing. You guys, I barely use hairspray at all, barely. This is kind of my go-to when I want that real piecey, separated look. And so I'm just using my hands now and I am shaking it out, lifting. And this kind of gives that kind of wild and free, very 70s. This is probably one of my personal favorites because it combines the natural messiness of my own hair, that kind of natural bedhead, with the extensions that I bought in. And here's, I think, why my hair lasts all week is that once I kind of do this, and I'm gonna tell you guys, when you curl extensions, you will be blown away as to how long that curl will stay in your hair. It's amazing. So, and because my hair has natural curl to it, somehow that blending of the curl with my hair and the extension just makes this stay. So I did not lift. You notice that I did not go high with these guys. I kept those flat to try to make it look more realistic. And the only sort of height that I'm doing is up front. This is the only place where I will maybe grab a little hairspray is if I want kind of to emphasize that poofy curtain bang, I'll just hit it right up front. Again, I'm not doing any of that hard hold stuff. Everything's very, very loose and natural. Less is more because I want to be able to go all week. with this. Okay, so from here, what can we do? Well, you can do a million things from here. I mean, first of all, this is a middle part. You can just take your hand. This is the beauty of K-tips, by the way, because they're set deeper. I can literally do this. I don't see anything. And I can do now a side part if I want and do kind of that swoopy side part, you know, very kind of old Hollywood. Bring that forward. This I would have to set with hairspray just to get it to stay. But now you've got something like that. You can even take this part, tuck it behind your ear if you want for a little bit more of that dramatic sort of swooped over effect. I also really, really like a loose pony. So I'm going to take out like my front coils right here. Just a few. And then just grab like a scrunchie. Again, I just want this very, very, very messy. Okay. This is super fun too. So again, it's got the curtain bang and kind of the whimsy of the pieces coming forward, but you've got everything else tied in the back. This would be great for like a spring party dress or something outside where maybe it's hot, you want the hair off of the neck, but you still have some of that softness and that pieciness around your face. I've also done this too, a side ponytail. Now you just have to make sure, I have to be careful because see my little guys right here, they want to pop out. They're still short, but if I need to, I can take a safety pin and kind of tuck them back. We can now ride it higher and do a little side ponytail. These are so cute, you guys. I found these at a little store in Grapevine, and they're little hair ties, and they've got like a cowboy hat and a longhorn and, you know, all that cute little decorative stuff. And it's the same color as my hair. So, oh, there we go. Let me twist you. This is a cowboy hat. And it pops in this cute little gold piece. I wish I knew the name of the store. I know you're going to ask me. It's downtown Grapevine, Texas. But look how fun that is. So then you've got a little side pony again with the same thing, you know, the loose hair around the face. Why the braid? Why the braid? The braid for a couple of reasons. First of all, it's just easy. So you literally run your finger down the back. It's a great look if you like to wear hats, which I do. But the braid is super important for sleeping. You are supposed to brush your hair out before you go to bed every night and then braid it. And that way it won't tangle up while you sleep. I also sleep with a silk pillowcase. Mine is by Blissy, and I love it. Not only is a silk pillowcase, and I mean real silk, not satin, silk pillowcase, not only is it great for the hair, it's also great for the skin. And what's awesome, just my hair gets messier as I sleep. So sometimes I'll just wake up and I'm like, yeah, we're good to go. We're just gonna be a messy, loose braid today. And you guys have seen a lot of that, because it's just super easy. And sometimes the messier the hair is, the better it is. The other good thing about braids is that it helps to hold the curl. So literally at the end of the night and when I wake up in the morning, I just take this out and I've got my curly hair again. And then I'll literally just grab a hold of these and just sort of loosen them up, loosen up the braid. You know, I don't want it too tight, too structured. This is kind of messy cowgirl. Super cute, fun stuff, and a gazillion ways to be able to style the hair. Yeah, so happy to do this tutorial and to show you guys just the possibilities, you know. Time consuming, yes, I am not gonna lie. You know, this has been this has been a good hour, start to finish, you know, with the blow dry and the curling and just playing around in different styling. But like I've said before, I do this today. Today is Sunday. I'm going all week until I do it again. Pro tip, this was taught to me by Lindsay, who did my extensions. If your hair starts feeling dirty, generally it's your hair right up here at the top. She said, put your hair in a ponytail, slick down the rest, leave out the top, literally dump your head in the sink and just wash right up in here, just the top part and the crown. And she said it's going to feel like you have freshly cleaned hair because the extensions, they don't get dirty and oily like your natural hair does. So I'm like, genius. I've done that once before and I can't even get over that. And that's a long hair blowout with extensions and styling. Bonus. Thank you for being with me on this journey. I know a lot of you just don't understand. You may never understand. As I alluded to at the beginning of this video, first of all, y'all, my camera literally just shut off on me and said it was too hot. It's exhausted. So am I, for that matter. If you have any questions for me, please leave them below. I hope you felt that today's tutorial was helpful. Glad you're with me on this journey. Yes, it is my journey. I'm enjoying it, and whatever yours is, the most important thing is that you love it, that you feel good about what you're doing, whatever your choice is. And remember, it is your choice to make and nobody else's. What do I always say? Go out, be bold, and be blessed. And I'll see you next week.